Without the timing. Hey everyone, it's Luna, and welcome back to the Post Corner. Yay! Yay! Oh. Use shenanigans with blind people running this channel.
No, I just forgot to mute it because I'm sleepy.
Yeah. Now you all hear my chosen in the background, a Taylor. Oh yeah, I figured since this was a fun way to show interest in different styles of poetry, different types, we just another try. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so tonight I decided to do Walt Whitman. Yeah, I knew I had trouble saying his last name. Who is a poet that was known for his version of free verse poetry, fused with imagery. A lot of his stanzas would have either similes or metaphors, or would use descriptions to influence his poetry. His most famous poem is Leaves of Grass, which is from his last collection. And apparently his poem that he wrote at his peak is called Songs of Myself. But I figured I'd do a couple of short poems, because anyone has read Walt, you know that most of his poems are a couple pages. On YouTube, I saw that Song of Myself was 25 minutes. I was like, that's a little too long. So, as usual, I will play a poem and then stuff afterwards. Yay! So, first one I found short by him is one that I've seen made fun of a lot in television and other types of media, which is Oh Captain, My Captain. So if I start something off with one we all heard about or read. Alright, now I have Pasm and Tell Some Man.
Your turn, shirt.
Just need double sentence.
O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wrack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, For you the flag is flung. For you the bugle trills. For you bouquets and ribboned wreaths. For you the shores are crowding. For you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead.
So I need to cut you off, baby. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, with Whitman, one of your favorites, but we know your favorite's Poe.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, Poe, my favorite. I feel like Whitman was one of the first ones that introduced me to styles of poetry that wasn't focused more on rhyme schemes or stanzas. It was my first introduction to free verse. So that was my first time hearing that poem, but I thought it was a cool concept of a ship being attacked by pirates or any warfare, and the concept of, you know, the captain always goes down to show. And his underwriting says that the captain and his father irritated as the fact that they were family, or that the captain raised them like a son, in a sense.
Maybe a little harder to do with playing a video, but is there a line that stood out to you?
I liked the first stanza when they were describing the ship, because it made me think of when we had that Prot by Brooke, where we had the words and we had to write a poem about it. And because of the word choice, a lot of people always wrote about like shipwrecks or an old house. But kind of had the same stanzas, like style wording. Now, my peeve is, though, there is a line where he used the wrong phrase of a word. And it was the line where he says, my captain lays. And there should have been lies instead. It would have gone smoother with the stanza.
What was the line about the reef? That one hurt me. Like, you're talking about a ship, you're talking about, like, the spirit of the captain. It's like,
I think they're referring to when nowadays usually we're done with cruise lines. But back then, when a ship was going to leave port, you'd have all the friends and family staying on the shore, throwing like potato flowers and bottles as a going away present.
like Bon Voyage.
Yes, I think that was his reference to that. But it seemed like you had to know a lot already about like ships and how they do different things where I get some references in the poem.
Yeah, I don't like when I don't get something in the poem, then I get distracted by it.
I know.
Squirrel.
But I very enjoyed that one because I always see me in front of like Family Guy or shows, and I was like, I knew that line, but I just never got around to reading shorts because I always read longer ones. on me. What was your favorite stanza or line?
I like the idea of seeing the rise again, like the spirit and the wind of like um the sail of flying against the mast of the ship.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty idea and concept.
Like, even though he's passed, his spirit will always live on with him in memory.
Despite him being killed.
Yeah. I mean, I do like it. They don't really focus on like how he died. It was more like the memory of his passing.
Like I said, he is known more for imagery and create a scene than doing blood and gore. He is more of like a nature lover in his writing.
Well, even more how much of like focusing on emotion and not really like the story.
Right. Not YouTube. I'm looking on their phone to do over. Oh, give me a sec. So here's another one of his shorts. It's called Oh Mio Life. Oh, you might just like this one a little bit more. That's more about him and not like the voyage or an object.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about him other than what you already shared.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, Coke. Who's your favorite?
Well, like I said, he was a three-verse poet from the early 1800s. I think the one was posted.
Two people.
And like most poets at the time of his life, he wasn't really liked. Like there were people that were fans of his work, but he didn't even become really famous until after his death, which is common for most poets, it seems. Right, so here is next one.
O me, O life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, of myself forever reproaching myself. For who more foolish than I, and who more faithless? Of eyes that vainly crave the light, of the objects mean, of the struggle ever renewed, of the poor results of all, of the plodding and sordid crowds I see around me, of the empty and useless years of the rest, with the rest me intertwined. The question, oh me, so sad, recurring, what good amid these, oh me, oh life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse.
That's an interesting final line. Like, I feel like it's been a little bit stronger, but I liked it. I like the idea that it was like pretty much based on like how most people feel like having a midlife crisis. And when you start questioning yourself and if your life is meaningful or if you're wasting it.
I do think it's interesting, like,
Okay.
earlier I mentioned Poe, and, like, Poe is known for, like, you just, like, say an item or, like, a thing, and you, like, can see the whole poem in your head. Like, you mentioned the Raven, like, you knew the poem.
Right.
And for, like, Whitman, it seemed like there's certain lines, like, you wouldn't be able to say the name of the poem or, like, what else is in the poem, but I think it was, like, the second stanza is a line that I've heard elsewhere. Like, in the last poem, like, like you had, like, there's lines that have been extracted from his work and put in the pop culture.
Right.
But you would know it's Whitman, but you wouldn't be like, oh, it's from his poem.
Right, because of that, his poetry is more of here's a scene I want to describe, but in an abstract way, where Poe, it's here's an object that's next to my work because of how destructive I get with it. Like, for example, the title is Oh Me Oh My, and you think of woe, but you don't think of it being self-pity. You think of, like, doubt instead. Like, the title makes me think of something different than what the poem's actually about.
I didn't think doubt. I just thought of, like, somebody, like, internalizing their life and their life choices. Because at the very end, it's like adding a verse to a play, which I like because it's like you're trying to add meaning to your life.
Right.
Or like having a legacy.
And the thing though is that all his poems, instead of having a clean ending, it's very abrupt and almost like comes to a standstill. I feel like I like that poem more than the first one.
Yeah, that made you think.
It did. And it's not as dark and twisted as Poe. It's kind of has like a morning vibe to it. So very somber in a sense.
That way, the guy reading it sound like humor.
I feel like all of them are gonna sound like that. I'm not going to try to read them because we'd here forever. And yeah, you don't want to hear his reading stuff. What's this word? And this word? And this word?
It does seem like he comes from a very educated background.
Right? Like someone who was very well taught for that time period. Oopsie. I feel like you like this one. Like, what up? The next one pulling up is called Songs of the Open Road. And I feel like Lauren might like this one because of the fact it's the concept of traveling. Almost like a play on the whole concept of the fool's journey in writing.
Ooh. What's this one called?
Song of the Open Road. On the road again.
I've read that one before.
Sorry. Song pop.
afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road, healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. Henceforth I ask not good fortune. I myself am good fortune. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing, done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms. Strong and content, I travel the open road. The earth, that is sufficient. I do not want the constellations any nearer. I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them. Still here I carry my old delicious burdens. I carry them, men and women. I carry them with me wherever I go. I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. I am filled with them, and I will fill them in return.
You know what I thought of?
Mm.
You know, I'd be a really good person to read these.
Mm.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, now you're chuckling.
Yes. I feel like that'd be a good reader for him.
I'm sure somebody already thought of that.
Like I said, it definitely made me think of the Fool's card because the Fool is in tarot when you start on a path in life or a new journey. And the idea of him throwing away all his worldly possessions and ties to a home and starting anew made me think of that.
Plus the idea of like how a lot of people seek solace like when they're upset, like just getting lost in nature and saying like, "I know all my troubles aren't going to disappear, but for this time being, I can just be immersed in nature and not think about it, and then I'll be there when I'm ready."
Yeah. I don't know if you know. I think it must him like trying to become a nomad person that lives with her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like you had like getting rid of all their material possessions that ties them to
Society.
yeah.
Yeah.
Life is a highway.
Oh gosh.
What?
But so far, my favorite one has been the second one. That's been closest to like my style of writing, so I'm like next to it.
Mhm.
Damn it! I was doing so well in the valuing doll. Like, damn it!
What?
I sound like Valley Girl. I think that's when I'm nervous.
I actually like the first one.
What kind of my cotton?
Mhm. I like it was a mix descriptive.
Oh yeah, I'd do that. And like I said, the only made me think of the prop from Brock with the words.
Mhm. Here's some random words that don't seem like they fit together. I'll cram them together and make a poem. I did it! Why are you nervous?
Because you're the one in charge of the.
You're doing a fine job.
I know, it's just nerves. Oh, this is like. Oh, they made tension.
What?
Sorry about that. Sometimes you don't play the ads on YouTube. I was saying that this one is funny because the name of this one is a poetic experiment.
You're a poetic experiment.
You're talking about poetry. That's why it did fit.
You're an experiment.
Really?
Remember caffeine for you.
You're the only guy who can't really stop you. Oh, excuse me. Oh, crap. Sorry about that. That's not a poem.
Oh.
I apologize for that one. I thought it was.
What was it?
Apparently a documentary.
About Whitman?
Yeah. And some people
Cool.
so there got to be like his type of works.
Yeah. Then you'll have to find another one.
I'm looking.
I mean, the 20-minute one wouldn't be bad. Go for it. Now you're worried about being too long.
Yeah, you're saying do that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
I found a song myself, and I said it's one that Mike claimed that he wrote as Peak.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be a good one to play. Now, I know you consider doing Frost for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I still think we should have a pull up. So think of some other poets that you want to have in mind.
I got a couple.
Okay.
I celebrate myself, and what I assume, you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me, as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. Houses and rooms are full of perfumes. The shelves are crowded with perfumes. I breathe the fragrance myself, and know it and like it. The distillation would intoxicate me also, but I shall not let it. The atmosphere is not a perfume. It has no taste of the distillation. It is odorless. It is for my mouth forever. I am in love with it. I will go to the bank by the wood and become undisguised and naked. I am mad for it to be in contact with me. The smoke of my own breath, echoes, ripples, and buzzed whispers, love root, silk thread, crotch, and vine, my respiration and inspiration, the beating of my heart, the passing of blood and air through my lungs, the sniff of green leaves and dry leaves, and of the shore, and dark-colored sea rocks, and of hay in the barn, the sound of the belched words of my voice, words loosed to the eddies of the wind, a few light kisses, a few embraces, a reaching around of arms, the play of shine and shade on the trees as the supple boughs wag, the delight alone or in the rush of the streets, or along the fields and hillsides, the feeling of health, the full noon trill, the song of me rising from bed and meeting the sun. Have you reckoned 1,000 acres much? Have you reckoned the earth much? Have you practiced so long to learn to read? Have you felt so proud to get at the meaning of poems? Stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of the earth and sun. There are millions of suns left. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the specters and books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from you.
I want to pause it. I like that line. I want to lose it. Looking for the eyes of dead or specters of books.
Yes.
I know pause when you talk about it. I was like, I wanted to end the poem and be like, what was that line?
I didn't really understand the beginning, and I feel like that was kind of distracting for me. Like, are you trying to distance himself from society and like immerse himself in nature?
Yes.
Okay.
So it sounds like that he found a riverbed, and he's talking about all the things he's doing to strip away what connected him to his previous life, to starting now.
Okay.
And then he gets very descriptive about what the river looks like.
Yeah, I get that part, but
no, I don't mean it too.
It was a weird opening.
It wasn't very strong of me. Like I feel like he should have started at the riverbed and not leading up to it.
Yes.
Shall we continue?
Jonas has learned Netflix esteemed poets' works. I'm kidding. Continue.
Yourself. I have heard what the talkers were talking, the talk of the beginning and the end, but I do not talk of the beginning or the end. There was never...
I'm sorry, that is a weird line. The talk of the talkers. Why would you say the talk of townsfolk? Like, that would have been better than having double meanings.
Or like, the whisper of words.
Right? Like, that is such a weird line.
Never any more inception than there is now, nor any more youth or age than there is now, and will never be any more perfection than there is now, nor any more heaven or hell than there is now. Urge and urge and urge, always the procreant urge of the world. Out of the dimness, opposite equals advance, always substance and increase, always a knit of identity, always distinction, always a breed of life. To elaborate is no avail. Learned and unlearned feel that it is so. Sure as the most certain sure, plumb in the uprights, well entreated, braced in the beams, stout as a horse, affectionate, haughty, electrical, I and this mystery, here we stand. Clear and...
Yes.
That was a cool, run of moving metaphors.
Yes. Yes, remember, similes are using, an as, and metaphor is not using that.
So, a good way to build intrigue from that weird, awkward one.
It's just me, or I feel like there's two poems here.
Like a existential thing of life in the universe and then nature and a riverbed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let us say more existential crisis versus of trying to reach out to what you want to know, was my idea. But yeah. I like your idea too. But it does feel like there's more one poem here though, which is weird.
Sweet is my soul, and clear and sweet is all that is not my soul. Lack one lacks both, and the unseen is proved by the seen, till that becomes unseen and receives proof in its turn. Showing the best and dividing it from the worst, age vexes age. Knowing the perfect fitness and equanimity of things, while they discuss, I am silent, and go bathe and admire myself. Welcome is every organ and attribute of me, and of any man hardy and clean. Not an inch nor a particle of an inch is vile, and none shall be less familiar than the rest. I am satisfied. I see, dance, laugh, sing. As God comes a loving bedfellow and sleeps at my side all night, and clothes on the peep of the day, and leaves for me baskets covered with white towels, bulging the house with their plenty. Shall I postpone my acceptation and realization and scream at my eyes, that they turn from gazing after and down the road, and forthwith cipher and show me to assent exactly the contents of one, and exactly the contents of two, and which is ahead? Trippers and askers surround me, people I meet, The effect upon me of my early life, of the ward and city I live in, of the nation, the latest news, discoveries, inventions, societies, authors old and new, my dinner, dress, associates, looks, business, compliments, dues, the real or fancied indifference of some man or woman I love, the sickness of one of my folks or of myself, or ill-doing, or loss or lack of money, or depressions or exaltations, they come to me days and nights and go from me again. But they are not the me, myself. Apart from the pulling and hauling stands what I am. Stands amused, complacent, compassionating, idle, unitary, looks down, is erect, bends an arm on an impalpable certain rest, looks with side-curved head, curious what will come next, both in and out of the game, and watching and wondering at it. Backward I see in my own days where I sweated through fog.
So, is a riverbed supposed to be like a baptism?
I think so. I think my idea was more on the nose, where that's the idea of almost like a metamorphosis.
Yeah.
So it sounds like when he went to the riverbed, he stripped off his old life and old traditions and started a new one.
Yeah. Oh, baptism.
Yes.
Well, he has a mention of like God and how people perceive him
Right.
once he emerged. So.
And I just realized there's some type of music playing with the video, so I'm hoping that's not drowning out the words.
No.
Okay. Still feel like it's 2.1.
A little bit.
With linguists and contenders, I have no mockings or arguments. I witness and wait. I believe in you, my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other. Loaf with me on the grass. Loose the stop from your throat. Not words, not music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your velvet voice. I mind how we lay in June, such a transparent summer morning. You settled your head athwart my hips and gently turned over upon me, and parted the shirt from my bosom bone, and plunged your tongue to my bare stripped heart, and
Okay.
reached till you felt my beard, and reached till you held my feet. Swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and joy and knowledge that pass all the art and argument of the earth. And I know that the hand of God is the elder hand of my own. And I know that the Spirit of God is the eldest brother of my own. And that all the men ever born are also my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers, and that a kelson of the creation is love, and limitless are leaves stiff or drooping in the fields, and brown ants in the little wells beneath them, and mossy scabs of the worm fence, and heaped stones, and elder, and mullein, and pokeweed. A child said, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child?
Alright, that stanza came out of nowhere, and I was pretending to be like, nope, and turn off the poem.
What a weird tangent.
Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that.
No. Like more about nature, maybe, sure, but
Or more ideas of like reincarnation. So we went from riverbed to baptism to his ideas about God to a little mini sex scene. Okay.
well, is he saying that interaction like gave him power? Like, is that why it seems like almost erotic?
I don't know. I kind of don't want to do it. You
Yeah.
you know how I feel about those kind of things.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, the thinking of like the exchange of how he felt powerful in that moment.
I'm kind of scared of the rest of them.
Come on. It's a weird tangent.
Oh.
Come on.
I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white, Canuck, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cuff, I give them the same, I receive them the same. And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of Graves. Tenderly I will use you, curling grass. It may be you transpire from the breasts of young men. It may be if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people, and from women, and from offspring taken soon out of their mother's laps. And here, you are the mother's laps. This grass is very dark to be from the white heads of old mothers, darker than the colorless beards of old men, dark to come from under the faint red roofs of mouths. Oh, I perceive after all so many uttering tongues. And I perceive they do not come from the roofs of mouths for nothing. I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about old men and mothers, and the offspring taken soon out of their laps. What do you think has become of the young and old men? And what do you think has become of the women and children? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows there is really no death. And if ever there was, it led forward life, and does not wait at the end to arrest it and ceased the moment life appeared. All goes onward and outward, and nothing collapses. And to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier. Has anyone supposed it?
I'm gonna do this. It's a circle of life.
I'm lost.
In what way? I get it. I'm not a fan of it.
I just don't know what he's talking about. Like, well, like I'm gonna work with like nature and life.
Yeah. And apparently we're only halfway through the poem.
I guess I just don't like it.
We don't have us no full point we want to.
No, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, maybe it'll get better.
Okay. But it seems like now he's focused on the idea of reincarnation and why is that circle of life and like how to start to renew from life to death. Wow, very strange poem.
You have this the one he's known for?
No, he's known for Lisa Grass. This is the one he wrote at his peak. Like, this is the best poem he wrote in his opinion.
Wait, Smoking Grass? The other two were better. At least they seemed like they had a focused ideal.
And not just rambling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, remember, it's free verse. Free verse tend to be rambles. It's not always as polished as my version is.
Sure.
Lucky to be born? I hasten to inform him or her it is just as lucky to die, and I know it. I pass death with the dying, and birth with the new-washed babe, and am not contained between my hat and boots, and peruse manifold objects, no two alike, and every one good, the earth good, and the stars good, and their adjuncts all good. I am not an earth, nor an adjunct of an earth. I am the mate and companion of people, all just as immortal and fathomless as myself. They do not know how immortal, but I know. Every kind for itself and its own. For me, mine, male and female. For me, all that have been boys and that love women. For me, the man that is proud and feels how it stings to be slighted. For me, the sweetheart and the old maid. For me, mothers and the mothers of mothers. For me, lips that have smiled, eyes that have shed tears. For me, children and the begetters of children. Who need be afraid of the merge? Undrape. You are not guilty to me, nor stale, nor discarded. I see through the broadcloth and gingham whether or no, and am around, tenacious, acquisitive, tireless. I can never be shaken away.
Okay, I think I finally get this poem. So I think the poem's written like, you know how when you go either to a beach or to a pond, and you stare into the water and all your thoughts just drift into one?
Okay.
I think that's what he's trying to do with this poem.
Okay.
Because now he's going back to comparing himself to other people, where in the beginning he was thinking of only himself and nature, and then the idea of life and death, and now he's revisiting that concept of himself with other people in society.
Right.
I feel like it's just, oh look, pretty water, and here's all my thoughts that are drifting by. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
I know I have the best of time and space, and that I was never measured, and never will be measured. I tramp a perpetual journey. My signs are a rain-proof coat, and good shoes, and a staff cut from the woods. No friend of mine takes his ease in my...
Yes.
Okay. That line right there,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of redeemed the poem. That was a good line.
Which line?
The raincoat one.
Oh, yeah.
My chair. I have no chair, nor church, nor philosophy. I lead no man to a dinner table, or library, or exchange. But each man and each woman of you, I lead upon a knoll. My left hand hooks you round the waist. My right hand points to landscapes of continents and a plain public road. Not I, not anyone else can travel that road for you. You must travel it for yourself. It is not far, it is within reach. Perhaps you have been on it since you were born and did not know. Perhaps it is everywhere on water and on land. Shoulder your duds, and I will mine, and let us hasten forth. Wonderful cities and free nations we shall fetch as we go. If you tire, give me both burdens, and rest the chuff of your hand on my hip, and in due time you shall repay the same service to me, for after we start, we never lie by again.
Now, see, this is why I still feel like it's two poems. I feel like the first part, we're still only halfway through the poem, by the way, is about self-discovery and reincarnation. But then I feel like when he starts the poem line with the raincoat, I feel like that's another poem because it's the idea of him taking another person on a journey through his life.
Well, it'd be like the idea of like, I want to take somebody else on this journey of the journey that I went on.
Right. But I feel like that would have been a better start for another poem instead of like a continuation of it.
No, like there's like 3 poems in one.
This day before dawn, I ascended a hill and looked at the crowded heaven, and I said to my spirit, when we become the enfolders of those orbs, and the pleasure and knowledge of everything in them, shall we be filled and satisfied then? And my spirit said, no. We level that lift to pass and continue beyond. You are asking me questions, and I hear you. I answer that I cannot answer. You must find out for yourself. Sit a while, wayfarer. Here are biscuits to eat, and here is milk to drink. But as soon as you sleep and renew yourself in sweet clothes, I will certainly kiss you with my goodbye kiss and open the gate for your egress hence. Long enough have you dreamed contemptible dreams. Now I wash the gum from your eyes. You must habit yourself to the dazzle of the light and of every moment of your life. Long have you timidly waited, holding a plank by the shore. Now I will you to be a bold swimmer, to jump off in the midst of the sea, and rise again, and nod to me, and shout, and laughingly dash with your hair. I am the teacher of athletes. He that by me spreads a wider breast than my own proves the width of my own. He most honors my style who learns under it to destroy the teacher.
I like that line. Learn under me to destroy the teacher. Like, there are some good parts in this poem. And the other parts, I feel like it's not needed.
Mm-hmm. There are other parts where it seems like it's just a random tangent.
Yeah.
No connection to the poem.
The boy I love, the same becomes a man, not through derived power, but in his own right. Wicked rather than virtuous out of conformity or fear. Fond.
That's another good stanza. That you become a man not from his teaching, from what they self-learn, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like that concept.
And not letting... We're saying not letting conformity strike fear to, like, not letting the fear of disappointing others dictate how you are in life.
Right. And that you shouldn't live your life through others, but for your own experience.
Of his sweetheart, relishing well his steak, unrequited love or a slight cutting him worse than a wound cuts. First rate to ride, to fight, to hit the bullseye, to sail a skiff, to sing a song or play on the banjo. Preferring scars and faces pitted with smallpox over all the latherers and those that keep out of the sun. I teach straying from me, yet who can stray from me? I follow you, whoever you are, from the present hour. My words itch at your ears till you understand them. I do not say...
I like that line. My words itch at your ears till you understand them. Kind of like to play that you hear me talking, but it means nothing until you take time to understand what I'm saying to you, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that most people in the world tend to listen, but aren't really listening to those around them.
Say these things for $1 or to fill up the time while I wait for a boat. It is you talking just as much as myself. I act as the tongue of you. It was tied in your mouth. In mine, it begins to be loosened. I swear I will never mention love or death inside a house. And I swear I never will translate myself at all, only to him or her who privately stays with me in the open air. If you would understand me, go to the heights or water shore. The nearest gnat is an explanation, and a drop or the motion of waves a key. The mull, the oar, and the handsaw second my words. No shuttered room or school can commune with me, but roughs and little children better than they. The young mechanic is closest to me. He knows me pretty well.
That's an interesting idea or concept that those who are educated are more strangers and harder to communicate than with children whose ideas haven't molded yet.
Well, and two, children at a young age aren't inhibited by fear, so they express themselves more freely.
Right. Hence why a lot of people want to stay a child even if they're adults. In a sense.
The woodsman that takes his axe and jug with him shall take me with him all day. The farm boy plowing in the field feels good at the sound of my voice. In vessels that sail, my words must sail. I go with fishermen and seamen and love them. My face rubs to the hunter's face when he lies down alone in his blanket. The driver, thinking of me, does not mind the jolt of his wagon. The young mother and old mother shall comprehend me. The girl and the wife rest the needle a moment and forget where they are. They and all would resume what I have told them. I have said that the soul is not more than the body, and I have said that the body is not more than the soul, and nothing, not God, is greater than one's own self is. And whoever walks a furlong without sympathy walks to his own funeral, dressed in his shroud. And
That's the line.
Yes.
Walks his own funeral, dressed in shadows.
But those that don't walk with sympathy.
I like that line.
Because I feel like you have to have sympathy and compassion to understand other people.
Right.
Or you're just, in your own world.
No, yeah, but then how can you expect empathy and compassion to yourself if you can't show it to others?
Right.
Seems like it's getting better, but I feel like that long entry day wasn't really needed.
There's definitely parts that could have been taken out.
Oh yeah, agreed. Or like burned to another poem.
Maybe.
I or you, pocketless of a dime, may purchase the pick of the earth, and to glance with an eye or show a bean in its pod confounds the learning of all times. And there is no trade or employment but the young man following it may become a hero. And there is no object so soft but it makes a hub for the wheeled universe. And any man or woman shall stand cool and supercilious before 1,000,000 universes. And I call...
That's a good word, supercilious.
What's that mean?
Like a fancy word to be the fool or that silly. I just like it when people use big words,
Nerd.
All to mankind, be not curious about God, for I, who am curious about each, am not curious about God. No array of terms can say how much I am at peace about God and about death. I hear and behold God in every object, yet I understand God not in the least. Nor do I understand who there can be more wonderful than myself. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name, and I leave them where they are.
And Ron Nerd was his tangent.
Ew.
It's just, I don't feel like this is needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with my own beliefs. I just feel like you had already hinted when he wanted the reincarnation. I feel like that's the only time you really needed it in the poem.
Well, what's the point of bringing it back up now?
He seems to do a lot in this poem where he'll reuse a line from the beginning of the poem near the end.
Mm-hmm.
I guess with the idea that he said more than once, it will stay with you, in a sense. But like I said, I feel like this part's really not needed.
I know that others will punctually come forever and ever. And as to you, death, you bitter hug of mortality, it is idle to...
Oh, I like that line. To you, death, this bitter hug of mortality.
You would.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is my style.
To try to alarm me. To his work without flinching, the accoucherer comes. I see the elder hand pressing, receiving, supporting. I recline by the sills of the exquisite flexible doors, and mark the outlet, and mark the relief, and escape. And as to you, corpse, I think you are good manure, but that does not offend me. I smell the white roses, sweet-scented and growing. I reach to the leafy lips. I reach to the polished breasts of melons. And as to you, life, I reckon you are the leaving of many deaths. No doubt I have died myself 10,000 times before. I hear you whispering there, O stars of heaven, O suns, O grass of graves, O perpetual transfers and promotions. If you do not say anything, how can I say anything? Of the turbid pool that lies in the autumn forest, of the moon that descends the steeps of the southern twilight. Toss.
Yeah, I like that line too. He seems more poetic when he's talking about, your last moment of death while his soul is leaving the body. Which I like. I like that idea.
Or are we trying to tie nature to something else?
Right.
Sparkles of day and dusk toss on the black stems that decay in the muck, toss to the moaning gibberish of the dry limbs. I ascend from the moon, I ascend from the night, and perceive of the ghastly glitter of the sunbeams reflected, and debauch to the steady and central from the offspring great or small. There is that in me. I do not know what it is, but I know it is in me. Wretched and sweaty, calm and cool then my body becomes. I sleep. I sleep long. I do not know it. It is without name. It is a word unsaid. It is not in any dictionary or utterance or symbol. Something it swings on more than the earth I swing on. To it, the creation is the friend whose embracing awakes me.
I like that line. That it's a friend, he's waiting to embrace me. That's a good analogy in a sense.
Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, I agree he's still referring to nature, but he's still don't know dodge answer, then, well, I have different concepts to that. What about you?
Again, there's parts of the poem where it's like, it's engaging and really descriptive.
And there's other parts where there's like, don't nod off.
Yeah. And I just like get disinterested and like detached, and like, why am I listening to this?
Well, we only have 4 minutes left. We're almost done.
No, it's not because it's long. I mean, it could just been that 4 or 5 minutes, but it's such a different style of writing.
Right.
And they don't mesh well.
Perhaps I might tell more. Outlines I plead for my brothers and sisters. Do you see, oh my brothers and sisters, it is not chaos or death. It is form and union and plan. It is eternal life. It is happiness. The past and present wilt. I have filled them and emptied them and proceed to fill my next fold of the future. Listener up there, hear you. What have you to confide in me? Look in my face while I snuff the sidle of the evening. Talk honestly, for no one else hears you, and I stay only a minute longer. Do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. I concentrate toward them that are nigh. I wait on the door slab.
Why would you go from first to third at the very end and do a fourth wall break? That is so weird.
Who has done his day's work and will soonest be through with his supper? Who wishes to walk with me? Will you speak before I'm gone? Will you prove already too late? The spotted hawk swoops by and accuses me. He complains of my gab and my loitering. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yop over the roofs of the world. The last scud of day holds back for me. It flings my likeness after the rest, and true as any on the shadowed wilds. It coaxes me to the vapor and the dusk.
So now we're back to nature again. But I like that scene. Like, that's a very descriptive scene I can picture in my head. I like that.
Like I was gonna say, like earlier, like he has a really good line or a really good way to describe something, and then I don't get on a tangent.
Right.
I depart as air. I shake my white locks at the runaway sun. I effuse my flesh in eddies and drifted in lacy jags. I bequeath myself to the dirt to grow from the grass I love. If you want me again, look for me under your boot soles. You will hardly know who I am or what I mean, but I shall be good health to you nevertheless, and filter and fiber your blood. Failing to fetch me at first, keep encouraged. Missing me one place, search another. I stop somewhere, waiting for you.
Okay. That was interesting. Like, it just seemed very, I guess, all over the place in a sense.
Not cohesive.
Thank you. That's what I think of. Like, it's like more than one poem mixed into one. Like, you have parts about nature, parts about reincarnation, life and death, parts about his concept of religion, parts about how he sees his soul and how it's like a partner. Just very jumbled, in a sense. Like, I'd see someone taking this poem and breaking it up and rewriting it into like 3 or 4 different poems. But the weird, like, the other 3 were shorter, but you got the concept, you got the reference and what influenced it, and it was easy to understand. And yet they said this is the poem he wrote at his peak.
Yeah, because there are some lines that are like, oh my god, you're so like astoundingly awesome and like inspiring and
right, but by the time you get to them, you're already bored with the poem. And it's hard not to say, oh, I'm gonna put this down and walk away because you're not engaged anymore to get those words or those phrases. Like I said, until you got to the ranger part, I was like, when's is no one dead? Like, I was watching the minutes pass on the video.
I don't know.
It just wasn't my fave. I feel like my favorite one was Second Bone.
I like the first one.
You want to be Captain of the Void?
I do.
Oh. Okay, well, I feel like 4 should be good. But the last one was really long. So, I hope you all enjoyed this.
I did.
So not sure if we're going to do this once a month or once a week, so we still see what happens.
I like the idea of doing it once a month, and I like the idea of doing a poll on the community tab. You guys can pick which one we do next.
I like the idea. That way it gives me more time to do research, because I did research last minute because I thought we were doing a different poet. So I had all these facts, and I realized we were doing, like, crud. So we will let you guys know in the community tab what's going nuts. Until next time, embrace what makes you unique. Bye!